So, could the millennial vote end up being a make or break for Donald or Hillary? Let's ask some millennials, Democratic strategist for Trump supporter Harlan Hill, and Democracy for America communication director and Clinton supporter Neil Soroka. All right, gentlemen, right now, you, Harlan, are for Donald Trump, and you, Neil, are for Hillary Clinton. Both of you previously for Bernie Sanders. So, Harlan, as you look at this week, it has not been a great week for Donald Trump. And why do you think that is?
Well, I think that he's stepped on a rake a couple of times. He's making some style mistakes that I think that are avoidable. But it's important that he starts telling one important story that millennials will respond to. They are anti-taxes, they are anti-regulation, and they're anti-central control. If he starts framing the liberal ideology in those terms, I think that he can speak to a lot of millennials. Remember that we came of age during Obamonomics. We don't remember good times. And if he starts talking about how it's possible to have a pro-growth president in the White House, I think that a lot of us will respond to it. And it won't come from social programs. It'll come from economic growth.
What do you think of that, Neil?
I think that's pretty funny. I mean, listen, we know that Bernie Sanders got a record number of millennials out to the polls in the Democratic primary. And right now, there are 3 times more Americans believe that aliens live among us than Bernie Sanders supporters who are supporting Donald Trump. He is an absolute train wreck for millennials, and it is not going to get any better anytime soon. This is one of the most diverse generations this country has ever seen. And what you've got is a candidate running a bigoted train wreck of a campaign, and that's turning millennials off around the country, and that's not going to change anytime soon.
In all due respect, only 43% of millennials say that they're going to vote for Hillary Clinton, according to the ABC News Washington Post poll. So the notion that there's overwhelming support for her is wrong. It's not founded in the facts. I mean, look, 25% say they're going to vote for Donald Trump, another 16 are going to vote for Johnson, and then another 9 are going to vote for Stein. So this is cut up. She doesn't have the appeal that Barack Obama did or Bernie Sanders did to millennial voters and Sanders supporters.
Well, here's what we know. There is absolutely no way that Donald Trump is going to win millennials' votes. And listen, I think it'll be interesting to see where polling ends up as we get closer and closer to Election Day. I think more and more millennials are going to be these smart voters that they have been so far and understand that this election is really a choice between 2 candidates. One candidate who is a bigoted circus barker and the other candidate, Hillary Clinton. And I think they're going to naturally gravitate towards the sensible candidate.
With all due respect, Neil, if you want to call one names, you have to call the other one a liar.
A neocon.
Sure, that's going to happen. That's already happening here.
Excuse me. I get to ask the question. A liar and someone who has repeatedly lied to the American people about a video, about classified emails. Her husband comes out and basically says the FBI director is full of a load of BS. I mean, come on.
Yeah, listen, I think that is going to be the charges that are made against Hillary Clinton. And listen, I think that millennial voters are watching Donald Trump, what he says and what he does, and that's more important than any of these innuendos and claims that are being made by... What's that?
Did you call it an innuendo when someone lies to the American people? Is that an innuendo?
Listen, we know that Donald Trump is a repeated liar to the American people. This is a guy who can't get through a speech without saying something untrue.
Neil, what did he lie about?
What has he lied about?
Yeah,
what has he lied about?
Tell me.
So one thing that he lied about just this past week is that he was somehow trying to gin up gun fanatics when instead he was actually threatening a presidential candidate. That was a lie.
Really? And what about the fact that the night in Benghazi they waited 13 hours and Hillary Clinton said that it was about a video and we couldn't have gotten there in time? Was that the truth?
How many millions of dollars are Republicans going to pour into investigating Benghazi and finding nothing?
Do you really believe
hundreds of dollars?
Huh?
They have found nothing.
They have found nothing.
What have they found? What have they found to go after Hillary Clinton with?
What are they going to go after her with? The fact that there were 4 people who died, and she criticized.
Yeah, they are, which is incredibly unfortunate.
You know what? Let me explain something to you. When I ask a question, you listen and you answer. All right?
Sure.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Look, Hillary Clinton does not, I mean, she's a neocon. She's supported every war since Vietnam. She's pro-Wall Street. She's anti-worker. I cannot in good conscience support her. And I think a lot of millennials actually are in the same boat as me. And when you look at the polls, if you trust the polls, I'm right.
All right. So, Neil, what does Donald Trump have to do to get your vote? And Harlan, what does Hillary have to do to get your vote?
So Donald Trump needs to run a completely different campaign. Yeah, Donald Trump needs to run a completely different campaign. He needs to go back to 2008 and maybe think about how he's going to comport himself over the Obama presidency. I think, listen, he's lost the millennial vote. It's not going to happen anytime soon. I will come back on this show and grovel if he wins the millennial vote after this election is over.
Harlan?
It's important to say that he may not win the millennial vote outright. He may not win a plurality, but he is going to peel enough voters away.
All right, Neil, Harlan, thanks for being with us. And we're going to be right back.